I have a little dog. He's
Nice.
called Ashy. He's a Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
He's not yappy, but yeah, I love to chill with him. To be fair, I do like to keep like lifestyle away from football.
Yeah.
I like to try and just relax and not think too much about it, because I think that's when nerves creep in or you start overthinking things.
The official Manchester City podcast. Watch the full video version of this show via City Plus now.
Paul, we've got Jess Park with us today in a really exciting period for our women's team as well. So it's a really good time to be talking to her. How much are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. And she's still ever so young, but she's done a lot in her career already. Been at the club since 2017. Like all the podcasts we do, interesting to find out the route into football, how they ended up at Man City, and she's playing fantastically well at the minute, so it's a great time to get her.
It is a really good time to get her because you can tell she's enjoying her football, and some of her performances have been really decisive in really big games as well.
They have, and it's a big role. Obviously, with Jill being injured, it's a big position to come in, and she's been absolutely outstanding. I think a lot of people see her more as a winger, but I think she started off as a midfielder and she's went in there and she's been amazing.
It looks to me like she has kept herself so sharp and so ready for when this opportunity came, because she's just grabbed it with both hands.
She has, and she's had to be patient. She got a taste last season, got out in Everton and getting a lot of games there, which I'm sure would have done her good. And she's came back, she's been patient, but she's also made sure she's been ready to go in as well. Some players, when they're not in the team, their fitness levels can drop, their sharpness can drop a little bit, but you look at her performances, she's been sensational.
Yeah, you can see that. Okay, let's get on with it then. So here we are, the official Manchester City podcast, and today we're in conversation with Jess Park.
Jess Park tries to wriggle her way through, and she kept on going, and wow, squeezed in somehow, and that will cement the victory.
Jess Park, thank you so much for joining us on the official Manchester City podcast. Let's go right back to your early beginnings in football. How did you get into the game? Because presumably for a young girl, the entry into football in this country is probably more difficult than it is for a young boy. So give me your story. How did it start for you?
I had a really close school friend, and we just loved playing football. Like, wherever we were, we'd have a ball with us, whether it was on the street, in the park, like outside pubs, like anywhere we'd have a ball with us. And it was actually his dad he was going to start up a boys football club, and he asked me if I'd join, and of course I was like, yeah, I'll join. And then I played with the boys for a number of years before actually playing girls football.
How was that?
Yeah, no, it was great. Like, I always say, like, one of the best times ever. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. It wasn't like I was a girl, they were boys. Like, I was just one of them. I really, really enjoyed it, and yeah, I think it's really helped me, actually, down the line in my career.
In what way?
I think just like the physicality and the determination, because always in my head it was a little bit like, I've got to beat them, like I've got to beat every single one of them, because I don't want them to start going, oh, they've got a girl. Like, even though they saw me as the same as them, it was just like, for me, I just needed to make sure like I was the best.
Yeah.
And that was really important, so I feel like that's helped me now.
As well, you got to go that extra bit to prove to these guys, yeah. So did you have any, so in terms of role models, football, who were the players you looked up to? Were there any female ones, or was it men's players?
It was men's players, I'd say, like Ronaldo, Messi, like the usual Neymar. I loved Messi because of what he could do on the ball, like he's magic. So I absolutely loved that and kind of wanted to do that myself a bit. Ronaldo for the way that he beats a player and scores goals, like how he finishes the ball off. And then Neymar's just, his feet are unbelievable. Yeah. So I always loved watching like skill tutorials on that. But yeah.
So do you think it would have been better for you to have some female players to look up to, or because this young generation now, say if you were a 10-year-old girl playing now, haven't they? They've got these people that they can, like yourself, who they can look up to and think, I can be like that. Do you think that would have helped you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's affected me that much or anything like that, but I feel like, if I didn't know when I was younger that I could actually play football professionally. Like, I just thought like it would just be until I can't play with the boys anymore, until my dad actually told me like, we can get you into a girls team, we can have a look around. And I didn't actually want to do that at first. He had to persuade me by telling me that I'd get a new football kit. If I went and played with the girls, I'd get a new training kit, a football kit, and I loved football kits. I used to get every single one I could. So that's what persuaded me. But I wouldn't say like it stopped me from anything, but it would have been nice to know that that was like a pathway.
Yeah. I know you're saying there that it wasn't what you wanted to. When was the first time you thought to yourself, I'll get a chance here?
Do you know what? I actually don't know. Like, I just love football. Like, I didn't really like think of it in any sort of way. I just wanted to play and play and play. Like, I never wanted to stop. So I think it would have been probably when I was like coming to the age that I was going to transition here. I think that was when I was like, oh my God, I can like actually make this like a career.
How have you found your time at City then? Because obviously you've been here for quite a long time, haven't you? So what's this club done for you in terms of your, not just your professional technical development, but as a person as well?
I think, it's made me like really independent. Like, I had to move here when I was really young.
Yeah.
Came here to train with the development squad, play with them, and then quickly transitioned into the first team. So I feel like it's, grown me up quite quickly. And also, like, I think, like, football-wise, like, I've learned a lot about football just by being here. So
yeah, it makes you grow up a lot quicker.
Yeah, definitely.
I've done a similar thing. I left home when I was 15 to go play football, and you become a lot more streetwise, and it's a life experience as well as the football experience. And I think taking that life experience, it's only going to help what you're doing in your football career.
Definitely, it just makes you so much more mature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who did you support when you were younger?
I supported City.
City fan, yeah.
You've got to say that.
No, I actually did, but it wasn't. I liked every team. Like, it was probably whoever had the nicest football kit. Yeah. I liked them. And then my best friend who got me into football, he started supporting City. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it as well. But it kind of like stuck. I enjoyed watching them. I enjoy how they played. Like, I really started to enjoy it. So
there's similarities with the way that City first team, men's team play across women's and academy, isn't there? We sort of all try and play that same style. As a young player, is that an attractive proposition, being part of a team that plays 4-3-3, passes the ball and wants possession?
Yeah, definitely. You always want to have the ball. Like, you don't want to be off the ball as
chasing for it.
Yeah, exactly. The funnest bit is being on the ball, scoring goals, but also just trying to like work the process and work out how you're gonna beat a team and break them down. I think that's the most fun thing, and we do that at this club. So yeah, it's definitely attractive football.
So when you signed your first pro contract, which was in 2020, 4 years ago, what was the reaction of your family? Because they must be so proud at that moment.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was kind of like, oh my God, like, you've wanted to do this like your whole life, and like here it is. Like, I'm so proud. Like, now you've got to show them, like, show them who you are. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's because a lot of people would get to that point and think, job done there. But actually, that's like almost one of the first steps, isn't it? There's so much more to do after that. Yeah,
for me, I think that was just like the start point. It was like, right, like, how do I get the next one? What am I doing to improve myself every single day?
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously my parents would always push me on that too. So.
And tell us about, because you've used the loan system obviously to go to Everton, and it seemed, Paul and I were talking before, it seemed like a really positive experience for you. What did you get out of that year? Because I saw, you wrote a lovely Instagram post when the time came to come back to City. So you'd obviously benefited from it. Was it a big decision for you to go on loan, or was it always part of the process?
No, it was a big decision because I love being here. Like, that it's so hard to sit down and think, well, where else do I see myself? Because I really do see myself here. So it was like, well, I need to play. Like, I need to get that experience, actually playing football, because there's only so far I feel like you can go training. Like, you need to get them match scenarios.
You need to play games, don't you?
Exactly, and the physical side of it, like the running 90 minutes, like, you need to get that back to back. Like, I think it was just the time that I really needed to push on and do that. And it wasn't an easy decision. Like, I was a bit like that with it. Like, what do I do? Like, and then making the decision was probably the best thing that I did. I think, like you said, I've really enjoyed my time there. The girls were absolutely incredible, and the staff. And I think Everton was the right club because the way that they want to progress young English women. So I think
perfect for you.
It was a perfect fit.
Was it always? Did you speak to Gareth before you went away? Was it always with a view of just going and playing games and coming back here to kick on again?
Yeah, definitely. We had a conversation beforehand, and I think he understood, like, you know, that I needed to get game time and kind of bridge that gap between, you know, potential and then actually like showcasing what I can do and like getting that little step as to play. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it just shows you the determination you've got, because a lot of people in all these surroundings would be quite happy.
It's nice and easy,
you know?
wouldn't it, to sit around, but to go away for a year and challenge yourself to try and play.
This is the thing, like, I love football. There's no point in being anywhere if you're not going to play the thing that you actually love to do. So,
And of course it's worked, because I don't want to date this podcast too much because I don't know when it's going to go out, but you've had an amazing few weeks, really kind of forced yourself into the team, taken an opportunity. Obviously Jill Roord got injured, you've come in. Talk to me about this period. Is this the best football you've played, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, being in such a like football-based team, I think, you know, I always just wanted that chance, and I think playing in the middle as well does suit me. I can play the wing. I enjoy playing the wing as well, but I have always been a midfielder. So getting that opportunity to play in the midfield, when I came on, I was like, right, let's go have it. Like,
you can tell that when you see you play.
Yeah, like I just really enjoy that role. I enjoy doing the hard bits, getting back, tracking, making the tackles, winning the ball back, and I enjoy creating like goals or creating anything. Like, I just enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm speaking to Alan Mann just before, and Sean Goater, and they were saying that obviously your technical ability is there for everybody to see, and people will look at you and say you're that sort of player, but said your work ethic and your determination and the stuff off the ball that you do for the team cannot be overlooked at all. Do you know what I mean?
And I think I feel a lot more comfortable in the middle, like doing them roles and like jumping out and pressing from them roles and winning the ball back in that area. It just feels more comfortable because I've done it all my previous life before. So
I'm presuming you see more of the ball in that position, don't you? Because I suppose on the wing you're waiting for someone to feed you, whereas in the middle you're right involved all the time.
And like as a winger, it's completely different. You know, you have the line, you have most of the time one player to beat. So when you're in the middle and you turn and there's a player, it's like, oh, what can you do to get past them, or where can you go to find the space? And that's the bit in my head that I enjoy. That's the bit that I like to, you know, be under pressure and playing in.
I was going to ask you about Yui Hasegawa as well, obviously playing alongside in that midfield three now, but what an amazing footballer she is. Just tell me, as somebody who's never played the game professionally, why do I really like watching her play, do you think?
I think she's just so clever. Like, she's so on it, is my word. Like, she knows where the ball's going to go. She knows.
She's one step ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she's just ready for anything. And I think, you know, she's so small, but she can handle anything. Like, the way that she uses her body is incredible. And on the ball, I just feel like she has another mind, seeing things that other people can't see. And yeah, she's just incredible. I know that if I make a run, she'll find me. If I'm in the gap and I move, she'll find me still. Like, yeah, she's so good to play with, and the communication that she actually gives me from behind, like, because she's just slightly back from me, is incredible. Like, I feel like so safe with her.
Yeah.
Do you know?
She's like an extra pair of eyes for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I feel
amazing.
like if I do, you know, overstep or something, she's going to be there anyway. So yeah, it's really good to play with her.
Really good. And the Chelsea game recently, obviously we went there and won. They had an incredible home record that we've ended, and you were heavily involved in the winner. Does a moment like that in a game as big as that must be the ultimate confidence booster, isn't it? To know that you can make a definitive, decisive impact in a huge game for the club.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's always nice to contribute to like goals and assists and stuff, but I think just the way we played and the way, like, at the end when it was getting hard, what we were doing for each other, I think that's, like, coming off the game, I think that's the biggest thing you can turn around. It's not just about the goal. Obviously we need goals to win, but what we actually did at the opposite end probably won us that game.
Yeah, I was
just the goal.
Just going to go on to the team spirit. Seems fantastic.
Yeah.
And I remember speaking to Gareth at the beginning of last season, and I think there was about 6 or 7 changes to the squad, and he was saying then it probably won't be till next season that you get the best of it, and it was only Jill that came in the summer, wasn't it?
It seems to be revving now,
having that group together.
I think, you know, we just found another level of like togetherness. Like, I don't know what it is, but it just feels so like together. Like, you know, we're always like wanting to do stuff together, even off pitch. Like, we always want to go for coffees and things like that, and I think it really, really helps, you know, what we're doing on the pitch.
What about in terms of the football? What's changed there? Because I completely agree with you. You can actually see as a fan the team spirit has improved. But is there anything in a more technical, stylistic formation thing that's maybe tweaked and improved in the last 12 months, do you think?
I think, you know, there's always tweaks that are going to be thrown in training and things like that, but I think we're just also focused and on board, and I think we all know what we want to do, and we're all just working towards that. And I think, you know, standards in training are driven every day so high, and I think that's had a massive impact on the way that we're performing. So,
who's the best player in training? Who's the one you look at and think?
Apart from yourself.
Apart from yourself.
Do you know what? I always find it really hard to say who, because everybody is like literally on it at the moment. Everyone is. It's so hard to pick out one. Like, everybody is on it, whether it's defending or attacking. Like, everybody is on it, and everyone's driving that as well. So it's really hard to pick out one specific.
And what about Gareth? When you signed your last contract, the extension, you made a point of saying how highly rated young player you are. He's just signed his extension, which we're all delighted about. Does that bring, as a player, knowing that you've got a manager who rates you, and then he signs a new deal, that stability must be very nice?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'll always say, like, Gaz gives me a lot of confidence as a player. Like, I feel like he knows how to, like, work with me really well, which is really nice. And I think, you know, it's great that then he's staying for another 3 years.
You played with Gareth, obviously. Yep. Did you see a manager in him?
Absolutely not.
Somebody else said this.
Absolutely not.
Somebody else said this.
You know, it was. Well, we became good friends, good family friends, and he always had a very good football knowledge.
Yeah.
But it would never really, in the changing room, it would never really be that outspoken about it. But we sat down with him one-on-one. He knew the game and he knew what he wanted to do. And then obviously his progression from the academy for the 14s to the 16s, and he slowly but surely you could see him moving up to the level that he's at now.
So how did that journey happen? Did he almost fall into that a little bit, or because if you're saying he wasn't managerial in the dressing room,
as a teammate, we didn't think he was, but I think that deep down he wasn't shouting out there that's what he wanted to do. And I think when he went to Wrexham, he became player coach under Dean Saunders, and I think having that experience gave him a little taste for it then, and he's just progressed on from there now.
Yeah.
But now, if he'd said 25 years ago that he was going to be a manager, Gaz would probably be the last one I would have said would have done.
Yeah, a few people have said that. So what do you enjoy in terms of training? How does he keep the sessions fresh and interesting? Because obviously for a young person, you've talked about your love of the game very openly there. You need challenging and excitement, don't you, every day? So how does he do that?
Yeah, I think just like new practices and, you know, like trying to keep it a lot of like defending and attacking stuff, because they're probably the best bits for defenders, the defending, and the attackers, the attacking. So I think when he tries to integrate that as much as he can, I think that's where you get the fun. And then also like games at the end, like always is, I think, a massive thing. You know, you can do all your training, but you want to play the game.
Players only playing games, don't they?
Like whether it's like little 5v5s or whatever, you just want to play that game. So
is that because you're all competitive?
Yeah. But look, you love training anyway. But some, I mean, I can say you probably can't now, but some sessions you do can be quite boring.
Yeah.
And the thing that you're having that game, that competitive thing at the end of it, that's what you want as a player, because you want to win, you want to beat your teammates. It helps for the banter in the changing room, and it helps you as well.
The men's team do a lot of rondo boxes type stuff. Do you do all that?
Yeah, we do that as well. I think we do it in most training sessions. I think that's one of our favourite bits as well, doing the little rondos. I think it just gets your touch ready, you know, it's fast paced and you're straight in. Yeah.
Do you get extra nervous for derby games? I'm going to ask you the same question actually, but for a game against United, is that going to make you feel differently in the build up to it, do you think?
For me, like, I'm not like a dead nervous before game sort of person. Right. Like, I'm excited. I definitely feel excitement, but I'm not dead nervous. Like, I'd only say it's so weird because like the second before the ball kicks off, that's when I get a little bit of, and then all of a sudden it's gone. But I don't feel like nervous like in the build up to that.
That's a gift.
Yeah.
Do you get nervous before?
I used to get a little bit before the game,
Yeah.
and if I didn't get a little bit nervous, I was slightly worried that I was going to
Yeah,
be too
I get
relaxed. But just before you used to go out, I used to think, yeah, come on.
Yeah, that's just a little tiny bit.
You're ready
before
now.
that,
All
and
the
then-
prep's
yeah.
done, everything's done. You can't change it. This is what's happening now.
And I suppose you need that bit of nerves just to spark you a little bit. Yeah.
I used to have to try and calm myself down. No, that was the only thing. I was bad enough once I got on the pitch, as you probably know.
Yeah, I remember I used to watch him every week. What about England? What's your feeling around that? Because obviously you're in and around the squad.
Yeah.
Do you set yourself any targets where that's concerned?
I mean, they're not like specific targets. Like,
No.
of course, I want to be in the team whenever it comes out. Like, of course, I want that. But if I handle my stuff here and do what I can do here and do my best here, I feel like that will come, and hopefully I can do enough here to then get selected there. And then it's just about when I do get there, giving everything that I can.
I was going to say exactly that, because there's so much quality in the England team for you to fight through. But you could say exactly the same at City, and you're doing that, aren't you? So that must give you confidence as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think, football, sometimes you need patience, and you just need to be able to handle that part where maybe it's not going right, or it's not exactly how you want it. And that's why it's hard sometimes to like set targets, because you don't know what can happen. Of course, you have like a overall target that you want to achieve, but things can change. So what can you do what can you control is kind of what I'm saying. And I think if I control everything here, and I do my best and I work week in, week out, I think that next bit will hopefully come, and then I just do the same there.
Yeah. How do you relax away from the pitch? What do you do?
Coffee.
Yeah.
I drink a lot of coffee. I have a little dog. He's called
Nice.
Ashy. He's a Chihuahua.
Little chihuahua.
He's not yappy, but yeah, I love to chill with him. I like going to the movies. To be fair, I do like to keep like lifestyle away from football.
Yeah.
I like to try and just relax and not think too much about it, because I think that's when nerves creep in, or you start overthinking things. So
That's
yeah.
really interesting, because the last guest we had on was John Stones, and he was saying exactly the same.
Yeah.
He was talking about his ability to genuinely only know who were playing in the next game.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't look ahead. He was talking about making sure his home life and exactly what you've just said, basically. And he was also talking about how he switches off from social media and just doesn't, because he basically, I think, wants, because there's a lot of noise around football, and if you get lost in that,
And it's very
player,
easy.
it could be very distracting. But he said he's just found all these ways of remaining totally on-off, like there's an off switch when
Yeah,
he's
I
finished.
feel like I can kind of relate to that a little bit. Like, people find it hard to contact me, or like sometimes like there's something put in the group chat like we need to be here for a certain time, and I actually don't see it before I literally go to bed, because I do try and stay off my phone and just enjoy like life away from the pitch, like doing what I do every day. So
It's a talent that
kind
in
of
itself.
It is.
Because it's difficult to switch off, but it's important that you do, because once you start overthinking things, that's when problems can start. So to have that mentality to switch off, but then to switch that back on again when you're ready.
I guess you've got to just know what works best for you as well, because I know some players who can't do what I can do. Like, they need to watch training back, or they need to do that straight away to then be able to like switch off, or they need to be watching the next match that's coming up, like in the Premier League or whatever. Like, that's what they need to do. But I think I'm confident in it, that I know what I need to be ready. So.
Yeah, that's really interesting. What were you like then?
It
was different. That the noise was less, wasn't it?
A lot less, and there was no social media or anything like that, which I'm probably quite glad about at that time. But no, we just used to. It was football. I used to watch every game I could. I would never ever beat myself up too much.
No.
If I hadn't played well or I wasn't the team, but at the same time, I would never make sure I had the ability to sort of be in a level keel all the time and train every day. And I had to train every day like I played. And saying there, Jess, that everybody's different. Some players needed a bit of a rest from training or wouldn't put it in training to get them right for the game on the Saturday. Whereas for me to be how I was on a Saturday, I had to be at it all the time, which caused a problem with managers sometimes, especially on a Friday when everybody's having a bit of a downtime. But for me, I needed to be at it.
Are you hard on yourself? if you say you went out there, you came off the bench and 20 minutes and you didn't take the opportunity or something, did you go away and kick yourself, or are you pretty good at riding above that?
I'd say I get disappointed.
Yeah.
But again, at the same time, I know that I can't change it. So it's just kind of I need to remember what I can control and what I need to do next. I do kick myself. My dad always says I'm my worst critique. Even if I've had a great game, I probably go to what I didn't do right first. Before then I say about what went well. But I think as I've got a little bit older, I've got a bit better at, do you know what, I've done all right in that. Or I won't critique myself too hard, and I'll kind of just
give yourself some credit.
Give myself a bit of credit.
I think it's having that ability that's gone. You can't change that now.
Exactly.
But when it happens the next time, you've got to make sure that you do it a bit better.
So our season is set up really well here. Got some big games coming up, of course, but sort of how excited are you as you're looking at the prospect of this final sort of furlong of the season?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm really excited. I just can't wait for every single game to come. I'm just enjoying football right now.
That must be a good place to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Do you think that's a general feeling amongst the squad as well? They're all kind of...
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody knows, it's going to be tough, and I think we're all really focused, but I think everybody's a little bit excited as well, come on, what can we do?
You can feel that though, can't you?
You can.
You speak to the girl, speak to Coughlin, speak to yourself there, you can sense that enthusiasm, that excitement for what you've got to come.
Yeah.
I think what you said about that Chelsea game as well, the way we dug in, that was a sign. I remember coming away from that thinking they've got some minerals in this team. I mean, and the goalkeeper that day, Chiara, was
was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think as well, sometimes in them games previously, we've ended up conceding, or we've ended up not being able to score that goal that we need to, and it just seemed like a little bit the luck was on our side. Obviously we worked hard and we did everything we could right, but we had a little bit of luck as well.
Which you need.
Yeah.
There's no. I mean, if you go back to City, the men's team last year winning the treble, there was a few things that kind of went our way in those final weeks, because you need that to happen. If it's not going to happen, you're not going to be that successful.
No, you need that little bit of luck, but I think, from what I can see, not just with the men's team, but especially with the women's team now, that it's super exciting. You can tell that they're going places, and I don't think you're fit anywhere near the ceiling of what you can do. I think you're ready to kick on again.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
So there's more to come from this team.
Yeah, I think, as long as we stick together and we stay focused, I think there's so much more we can bring, and I think that's what we're all trying to do. So
there is real quality in sort of every area now, isn't there? It seems to have, because we've had a few seasons where injuries have really damaged us early on, but this season it just feels like we've got a really strong 11 out on the pitch for most games.
It is, but you look at the squad as well. You look at some of the players that are on the bench.
Yeah,
in the last couple of weeks, they would walk into a majority of the teams in the Premier League out there. So I think it's not just 11 on the pitch. I think that the quality that the squad's got now, I think, is what's been different for the last couple of seasons.
One question we ask all of our guests is, if we gave you a magic wand and you could change anything about football, what would it be? And that doesn't necessarily have to be a rule on the pitch. It can be, but it could just be anything about the industry, basically.
I feel like this is such a hard question, because football's football. It's what we love. It's what we love to do.
You do love football, I can tell. Because not every professional footballer loves football, do they? But you definitely do.
Yeah, I'd probably say bus journeys.
Yeah.
If you have to go down on a bus, to be fair, we get the train quite a bit, but, coming back on the bus after, a late kick-off in London,
horrible.
If I could just teleport to places, that would be brilliant.
Yeah.
Even flights,
I'll speak to Gaz. I'll have a word with Gaz.
We can just, click our fingers and be there. That would be, but obviously that's a bit unrealistic, so...
Train travel is my preferred mode. If I can travel in any way, that is always the one I prefer.
Yeah, we had no option when we played it. We were getting the bus and that was it, and didn't regard us back from Colchester on a Friday night. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some horrible journeys. Yeah. So our last guest, John Stones, left a question. Didn't tell him who our next guest was, but he's left a question, which was, when you are getting ready to come into training, what do you think about in terms of your clothing?
Well, it's got to match. The colour coordination has to be there.
We should tell some of the men's team that, actually.
I think
because they fall foul at the first hurdle.
He's having a dig at a few players there, I think.
Oh, definitely.
100%. I think it depends. It depends, like, what day is it? Like, what's, like, have you just played? Are you coming in for recovery? Is it comfy? Is it, you got to look all right? Like, I think no matter what, it has to be colour coordinated, and you've got to be, like, wearing shoes. Like, none of this flip-flop stuff coming in. It's got to be shoes. You can still be comfy with shoes on, but yeah.
Some of the girls wearing flip-flops when they come in.
Sometimes. I'll allow Birkenstocks, but flip-flops is a bit...
That's where you draw the line. Yeah,
that's my line.
Fair enough.
I probably did it when I was younger, which is, like, really bad to say, but yeah, I'd say now, come ready, like, yeah.
What advice would you give if there was I don't know, a 9-year-old, 10-year-old girl joined City's academy and clearly was very talented, but there's so much hard work ahead of that person? What would you had 5 minutes to take them to one side, what would your key message be?
I think, like, for me, just, like, work hard, do the hard stuff now. Like, enjoy it, I think, is probably the main thing I'd say. Like, if you ain't enjoying it, why are you doing it? Like, enjoy it, enjoy the moments you have being young, playing football. But yeah, working really, really hard, like, listen to what people are telling you to do, like, listen to the advice that you're getting. If they're telling you something to work on, really, really go hard and work on it. Don't let there be anything to chance. But yeah.
Leave as little to chance, absolutely. Yeah, it's good for
like, really work hard.
What's your preparation for a game like, food-wise, and going to bed the night before? Do you to bed nice and early and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't deep, like, sleep time too much. Like, if you're forcing yourself to go to sleep, it's just going to be worse. So, like, normally, like, you're in a routine anyway. So I just, have my big meal a couple of hours before I go to bed, go to sleep when I'm ready, go to sleep, wake up, get myself ready, make sure I'm looking all right, and then go down. And
make sure you colour coded.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really help it when you got to wear what you got to wear, but and then I always have the same pre-match meal, so it's like bagel, eggs, beans, and this doesn't matter what time of the day. And then on one half I'd have jam and butter, and then a glass of apple juice.
Is that from a nutrition perspective, or is that now become like
that's
your
thing? Yeah, right. That's not nutrition based at all.
Did you have anything like that where you had to do something or eat something?
No, I never liked having a pre-match meal. I would eat, so I would also have a big breakfast, and then my pre-match would probably just have a cup of coffee and some toast.
Gundogan said that, did he?
Yeah, and if it was a night game, I would have a big lunch, and then about 3:30, 4 o'clock when the players are having their chicken and their pasta, and I couldn't think of anything worse of having a big meal and then having to go out and run. So yeah, I was feeling.
Again, there's probably no one size fits all. There's something.
No, everyone's different. I don't like to feel heavy, so I know that if I eat that, I never feel heavy. Like, I feel like it's just enough to, like, fuel me for what I need, but it's probably not. Like, I actually have no idea.
It's got you this far.
It's
not that bad. It's not doing that bad, is it?
But I know that if I go on the pitch and I feel too full, I ain't moving. So I just like to feel right, and that's kind of my meal for that.
Everybody's different with it. I mean, I sit with players that used to have a plate piled up with chicken, baked potatoes, pasta, beans and everything else. I'm like, how can you run around like that? But that's what they needed in their to get to their mind to get it right. Yeah.
So if we asked you to leave a question for a guest, we don't know who it is because we haven't got the next one booked in, but somebody connected to City, somebody connected to football.
So I have to think about this.
Yeah. What would you...
What's your favourite holiday destination and why?
Perfect. Yeah. Where do you like to go on holiday? Because I've seen you put the odd holiday pick up online, don't you? Where do you like going?
I like exploring new places, to be fair. But I also have, like, when I grew up, my mum and dad would always take me to Menorca.
Nice.
So it's kind of like a little thing that I really, really like to go to. And the weather's always lovely there for some reason. So, yeah.
And you need to, you as a player, when you get to go away, presumably relaxation is like the key thing.
Yeah, key. I mean, the thing is with me, though, I need to, like, I can't just lay there all the time. Like, I need to have something to, like, do, whether it's, like, explore or go to a water park, or like I'm really quite childish still.
Yeah.
Like I still like to.
I don't worry, I'm still like that. I'm
Yeah,
51.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Like things that you can do. Like I like that sort of stuff. So.
Yeah. We do have a question from a fan. Sarah in Middleton has asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Hopefully playing for England. And yeah, I think hopefully still here, starting week in, week out, winning titles.
So, regular for England, regular for sea and winning trophies.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you
Amazing.
very much.
I want to say a huge good luck for the rest of the season, because obviously there is the potential for some amazing stuff to happen here. So all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Here she is. She's got past the defender. Can she get the shot off? Yes, she can. Almost on cue. We were waxing lyrical about this Manchester City 20-year-old.
That was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed speaking to Jess there, I must say.
Oh, she was amazing. I once got called by Bobby Robson a little bundle of energy, and as soon as she walked in and sat down, you could tell that. And the one thing that stands out is her love for playing football. It's all she wants to do, talking about when she was younger, playing with boys and everything else, and looking at her now, seeing her now, she's just got a massive, massive love for football, and it's great to see.
I bet I can imagine she's one of them people who just always wants to have a ball at her foot, if possible, because she did, like you say, that love and enthusiasm for football, which was genuine.
Yeah.
Love, really came through. She couldn't hide it, could she? It was just there,
No, she couldn't, and always a big smile on her face, and every time we were asking her questions about her career, where she wants to go, and the smile get bigger and bigger, and you could just tell that her enthusiasm and her passion for the game is second to none, and I loved it.
She's got a real career ahead of her, hasn't she? You can tell, because even at this young age, she's already played plenty of games for City, around 60 matches for City. Been on loan at Everton, done well, and played a lot of games and made a lot of contribution there. England recognition as well, and now she's really starting to establish herself in City's kind of first 11. It's all there, isn't it?
And as the future's going to be massive for it, and a lot of people can talk about people's potential and everything else. There's no doubt she's going to fulfil her potential. She wants to do it. She's so driven to do well, and that has to come from within. You can have coaches, you can have teammates that are pushing you, but you have to have that desire within to improve and to succeed and to hit the maximum potential you can get, and she's definitely got that.
Well, Paul, thank you for being with us as well. Really enjoyed your contribution as always.
Thank you.
So, thank you for listening to the official Manchester City podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever it is you do your podcast listening. And of course, please join us again soon. Thank you for being with us.
The unbeatable official Manchester City podcast. Watch the full video version of this show via City Plus now.